The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
Ready, we're ready.
49. Here we go. Alert 3. Alert 3.
Check 52. Hey, bye-bye.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
So don't say nothing. 49. Hey, check.
Me and you all day. I'm coming.
Go.
Now Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
On the set.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I got you.
Check 37. 61. Matchbox lights. Hit it.
Throwing to start the drive. Herbert. Buying time to his left. Incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
It's our time.
To throw again. Herbert. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
He is going to find Hill here. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And finally marked down at the 23. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19 going on the ground with Eckler. They get 5 yards on the run there. Still left staring at a third and about 14.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Switch.
You draw quarters. Hey, Zoo. Ready?
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Grady Jarrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Badgley hit from 59 in his rookie season. This one not quite as long, but he shows off that big leg by hitting another from distance. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. 20, 10, touchdown, Falcons. Todd Gurley, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the lead. Extra point good by Catanzaro, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10. Watch out.
Check 13. Check 13.
From the gun, Herbert. Escaping the pressure right. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Falcons grab it. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Well, we had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble off. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. Melvin Ingram able to record his 5th sack of the season. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They run out of the shotgun with Gurley. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Ryan. He gets it to Gurley, complete. call it a pickup of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This one fielded at the 5. And he will be taken down here as the first quarter of play will come to an end. 10-3 our score after 1 here on EA Sports. The Charger drive about to get going. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1.
Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. The intended receiver there, Allen, about set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They try right side here, Gurley. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. It's Melvin Ingram on the tackle.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Now Gurley. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. It's caught. Jones. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a 1st.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now it's Ryan. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On the ground, it's Eckler. And some space here. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 35-yard line. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and that'll make it second down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to dump it off to Gurley. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now Ryan. And that one's complete to Gurley. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one goes for 24 yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield. Complete. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Charger drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout called. And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. A final shot before break. Herbert, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game as we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make...
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Monte Nicholson picks it. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. After the interception, here's Ryan. Dancing to his left. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Throwing again on second down. Ryan, he's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49, a gain of just 2.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes it's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Here's Ryan to throw. A deep ball for Gurley. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Derwin James with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. They were trying to go back to Allen there, but now it'll be third down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. It's a 4-yard return following a punt of 49. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see with it. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He was trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
He completes it to Bryant. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be...
Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, Falcons. Todd Gurley with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. It's Eckler again. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. That one good for 13 and a Charger first.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Back to the air on 2nd down. Herbert. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 39.
Now, that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Mike Williams, the intended target, and now it's 3rd down.
Set up, 50, plant. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys. Switch. X3, 218, chopper. Ready.
Off the play fake. Herbert. Open man, it's Allen. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down. On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Once more, here's Eckler. And able to work his way down to the 16. And pretty good running as he'll be close to a first down at the Falcons' 16. So 3rd and inches, and this will be the 9th play of the drive. Back to throw. Herbert. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for number 89, incomplete. It's 4th down.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll run for it with Eckler. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. Back now at Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 2nd and 9, Ryan airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught It's a big play there for Atlanta. 49 yards. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
On first down, it's Grant. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Looking left sideline, incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd and 4.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now it's Gurley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Chandler Catanzaro on for the field goal. A 28-yard attempt.
Catanzaro's kick is good. And that will push this lead up to 20 now. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert being chased out left. Allen's got it complete. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. 2nd and 3. He'll get this to Eckler. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. They'll try to pick up the first with Eckler. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short, definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Throwing on first down. Herbert, he's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Herbert, now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Back to throw. Herbert. And he's got a man open. That's Allen. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there and a Charger first down.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
And now time is called as we've got an injured Charger down there on the field. We'll step aside and come back to Carson after this. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. He's going to let it fly. Got a man. It's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Michael Badgley on for the extra point. It's up. It's true as they get back in it a bit here. It's now 23-10. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. So time definitely not in their favor. Down 2 scores, but they'll try the onside kick. And this is going to be covered up by the Falcons. And that should just about seal it. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the Chargers' 45-yard line.
Ready, 280, 15. Come on, you better bring it.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Atlanta, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the home team here, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will try to get back in the swing of things next week on the road. And for